Good evening, one and all. We welcome you all to the International Webinar Series on Holistic Health, Well-being and Sustainable Development 2025, commemorating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, nation celebrating 77 years of independence and United Nations Sustainable Development Goals 2015 to 2030, Viksit Bharat at 2047. In collaboration with Sri Holistic Health Foundation India and Sri Research Institute Center for Art Sciences and Wellbeing. Before we start our sessions, let's take the blessings of Almighty. With the blessings of all, let's take the blessings of Almighty before we start our sessions.
कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः
So with the blessings of Almighty, we shall continue with today's commemorations. Today, we are celebrating and commemorating International Day of Cooperatives. On 5th July every year, cooperatives are driving inclusive and sustainable solutions for a better world. More than 12% of humanity is part of any of the 3 million cooperatives on earth. The 300 largest cooperatives or mutuals report a turnover of 2,409.41 billion US dollars while providing the services and infrastructure society needs to thrive. Cooperatives contribute to the sustainable economic growth and stable quality employment, providing jobs or work opportunities to 280 million people across the globe, 10% of the world's employed population. So on Saturday, 5th July 2025, communities around the world are coming together to celebrate the International Day of Cooperatives, in short known as Co-ops Day, under the inspiring theme Cooperatives Driving Inclusive and Sustainable Solution for a Better World. This year's event is especially significant, taking place during the United Nations Year of Cooperatives, IYC 2025, a rare once-in-a-decade moment to spotlight the vital role of cooperatives in creating fairer, more resilient societies. In a time of growing global challenges, this year's theme speaks volumes. Cooperatives business owned and run by and for their members are showing how it is possible to build strong communities by putting people, planet, and purpose before profit. From health and housing to agriculture, finance, and clean energy, co-ops are delivering real-world solutions that are inclusive, democratic, and sustainable. Co-ops Day also connects with the two global efforts, the UN's high-level political forum, which is reviving key sustainable development goals, and the upcoming Second World Summit for Social Development. These milestones remind us that cooperatives are not just local solutions, they are part of the global movement for change. So join us in celebrating Co-ops Day and help us raise awareness of how cooperatives are driving progress for a better world. Objectives of this year's observance includes raising public awareness, highlight the contributions of cooperatives to sustainable development, promote growth and development, strengthen the entrepreneurial ecosystem and establishments for cooperatives, advocate for supportive frameworks, encourage the creation of enabling legal and policy environments for cooperatives globally, inspire leadership, foster purposeful leadership, and engage youth in cooperative movements. The cooperatives movement have been acknowledged as associations and enterprises through which citizens can effectively improve their lives while contributing to the economic, social, cultural, and political advancement of the community and nation. The cooperative movement has been also recognized as a distinct and major stakeholder in both national and international affairs. Cooperatives open membership model affords access to wealth creation and poverty elimination. This results from the cooperative principle of members' economic participation. Members contribute equally, equitably to, and democratically control the capital of their cooperative because cooperatives are people-centered, not capital-centered. They do not perpetuate nor accelerate capital concentration, and they distribute wealth in a more fair way. Cooperatives also foster external equality as they are community-based. They are committed to the sustainable development of their communities, environmentally, socially, and economically. This commitment can be seen in their support for community activities, local sourcing of supplies to benefit the local economy, and in decision making that considers the impact of their communities. Despite their local community focus, cooperatives also aspire to bring the benefits of their economic and social model to all people in the world. Globalization should be governed by a set of values such as those of the cooperative movement. Otherwise, it creates more inequality and excess that render it unsustainable. The cooperative movement is highly democratic, locally autonomous, but internationally integrated, and a form of organization of associations and enterprises whereby citizens themselves rely on self-help and their own responsibility to meet goals that include not only economic but social and environmental objectives such as overcoming poverty, securing productive employment, and encouraging social integration. The International Cooperative Alliance unites, represents, and serves cooperatives worldwide, founded in 1895. It is one of the oldest non-governmental organizations and one of the largest ones measured by the number of people, represent 1.2 billion cooperative members on the planet. The Alliance works with global and regional governments and organizations to create the legislative environment that allow cooperatives to form and grow. Today is also commemorated as Venezuela Independence Day, which is celebrated annually on July 5th, commemorating its history as the first independent country in South America. Today, we remember Venezuela's role as a leader of popular resistance and the Latin American independence movement, a day to honor visionaries such as Simon Bolivar and Francisco de Miranda, whose bravery flew in the face of mighty Spanish Empire. Songs, legends, and shrines still bound in their name despite unspeakable violence and atrocities on both sides. The Patriots secured Venezuelan independence in 1821 after decades of resistance. Although we celebrate the country's independence today, July 5th symbolizes the road to freedom for all people. Venezuela will welcome everyone who wants to join the celebration of this great day. The main thing is earnest desire to congratulate the people of Venezuela. So this day marks the anniversary of events on July 5th, 1811, when delegates to the First National Constituent Congress formally decided on independence, ending a two-day discussion that began on July 3rd of that year. This method was put to the vote at the session of Congress on July 5th, and decision was confirmed by Congress President Juan Antonio Rodriguez. On the same day, spokespersons Cristobal Mendoza and Juan Herman Roscoe presented a declaration of national independence to Congress with the acceptance of Secretary General Francisco Isnardi. In the document, representatives of 7 of 10 provinces belonging to the General Captaincy declared their independence and explained the reasons. The first is that it was disastrous that a small European nation ruled the vast expanses of America. The second, Spanish America regained its right to self-government after the abdication of Charles IV and Ferdinand VI in Bayonne. And the last one is the political instability in Spain forced Venezuelans to rule despite fraternity, which they shared with Spain and Spanish people. So the declaration proclaimed a new country named the American Federation of Venezuela as an independent state in a republic form of government based on 7 provinces belonging to the former captaincy. The declaration was passed by Congress on July 7th and given the full force of law and decree issued on July 8th by the President of the Executive Triumvirate, Cristobal Mendoza. It was later presented to the public in Caracas and read in what about Bolivar Square on July 14, 1811. Today is also commemorated as International Cherry Spitting Day, which is celebrated on first Saturday in July, has made us realize more can be done with cherries than just eating them. This year is celebrated on July 5th. Cherry spitting is the act of spitting out remains of cherries from one's mouth to send them as far away as possible. So thousands of people comprising contestants and spectators around the US gather at specified venues to participate and witness this exciting holiday. Each contestant is given 3 tries and the longest shootout of the 3 is recorded. The contestant with the longest recorded range is declared the winner. Today, the competition is divided into different categories to match people of different age groups and specifications. Cherry pit spitting is practiced in Australia, France, Germany, Canada, and the US. The states in which they are most popular are Michigan and Utah. The sport is popular, although there are no leagues organized. Since 1980, the Crows and the Lezard families have dominated the competition, although some outside. The two families often beats them. For example, in 1992, Bob Ickes of Wake, Michigan won with a 58 feet 2 inches, while Ron Matt of Chicago won the competition in 2012 with a spitting range of 69 feet. The current Guinness World Record for the longest range shot belongs to Brian Young Gun Croix, a member of the Croce family, who recorded a cherry spitting distance of 93 feet, 6.5 inches in 2004. He would go on to the record an even farther spit, albeit in a freestyle display. Sadly, Teichmann's tremendous fruit farm was sold in 2020 in an auction, bringing to an end to the competition in Michigan. Despite this, the tradition continues all over during the cherry picking time. Today is also commemorated as Mechanical Pencil Day in US. Is celebrated each year on July 5th all around the world. Mechanical pencils have so many uses in the classroom and workplace. Even if you use pens for all your written work, we often do draft calculators and writings with pencils to avoid making an error in our final copy. While the world prefers digital forms of communication, mechanical pencils make writing and design easier and add a personal touch to them. Mechanical Pencil Day celebrates this marvelous invention and encourages more people to take up the lost art of writing pencils. Celebrate the day by penning heartfelt notes to your loved ones with a mechanical pencil. Today is also commemorated as National Apple Turnover Day in US. On July 5th has just got excited because we love all things pie, especially when you add portability to the equation. Apple turnovers are one of the most popular pie recipes out there. Their sweet and tangy flavor, mixed with spices like cinnamon and nutmeg, makes for a great treat to have during any time of the day. Apples remain in season throughout the year, so you can always get the freshest or the tastiest bunch for creating your version of the pie. The recipe is not only much easier to make than a traditional pie, but is also easier to have it on the go. Fun fact, Appletons or turnovers in general are known as portable pies. Today is also commemorated as Hoppe Park Day in US on first Saturday of July, and this year the day will be celebrated on July 5th. It is a day to explore the parks in your area and reconnect with your neighbors and community. Not only do you get to spend time outdoors, but it is also a great way to detox from all forms of technology. You spend a lot of time online and not much being outdoors. The day celebrates the simple joys of life like a leisurely stroll, a breath of fresh air, and being completely relaxed. Hoppe Park Day encourages people to visit and relax in the parks in their neighborhood. A lot of bigger parks host sporting events and cookouts. Parks have always been a place of relaxation and serenity that offers us relief with the rush of our daily lives. While trees and grassy areas are common to all parks, some of them may also house artifacts, buildings, playgrounds, fountains, and monuments. Some parks also have designated space for sports like basketball, football. It is also not uncommon to find parks with trails for biking, walking, and other activities. Parks with water bodies may also have facilities for rowing and swimming. Apart from relaxing, they are a greater place to get some exercise. Urban parks are also have benches and picnic tables for families to enjoy a day out. Really is no way to get bored at a park. Today is also commemorated as National Graham Cracker Day in US. This month of July calls for many celebrations around a fire pit, with one of them being the National Graham Cracker Day on July 5th. Extremely renowned crackers make for great s'mores, pie bases, and a crispy crumb coating for your fried foodstuff. Graham crackers were originally invented as a healthy alternative to eating other foods that were thought to cause epilepsy, tuberculosis, and a range of other illnesses. The recipe for crackers included graham flour, bran, and grains. The crackers were on the blander side with the slightest hints of sweetness. Soon people realized that somewhat bland taste of crackers made for a great addition to pie, cake, and frying recipes. Today is also commemorated as National Hawaii Day on July 5th, 2025. This year, annually, every July 5th to celebrate becoming the 50th state of the US. However, statehood was officially granted on August 21st, 1959. It was not known why the holiday is held on July 5th. It holds the distinction of being one of the four states that were once independent nations, along with California, Texas, and Vermont. Today is also commemorated as National Outdoors Lights Day. Celebrates the fun and warm atmosphere that outdoor lights bring to our spaces, allow us to use our decks, patios, backyards, and porches. Even after the sun has set, outdoor lights provide security and add warmth to the area too. Humans have always needed some form of light to brighten the night, but we largely relied on fire to do this. Even when our building techniques evolved and we had stone and wood houses, we still relied on flames to light the night. Modern bulbs have evolved much faster, first with low pressure sodium LPS lamps that were common post World War II, then came high pressure sodium lamps, HPS lamps, which were invented in the 1960s, and today LEDs are becoming bulb of choice. Install light fixtures that are rated for outdoor use. With appropriate IP ratings for your climate, ensure all connections are properly sealed and protected from moisture. Use weatherproof extension cords and covers for outlets. Exposed to the elements, regular maintenance such as cleaning fixtures and checking connections helps extend the life of outdoor lighting systems. The best outdoor lighting system depends on your needs. LEDs are ideal for energy efficiency and long-lasting performance, while solar lights offer easy, eco-friendly installation for gardens and walkways. Motion sensor lights and floodlights provide added security for driveways and yards, activating only when needed. For ambience, string lights and wall sconces create a warm, stylish atmosphere on patios or entryways. Today is also commemorated as National Workaholics Day in US on July 5th, which is meant to remind us to find good balance between our home and work life. In general, workaholics tend to put work before almost everything else. This includes family, friends, and even their own health for the sake of work, performance, and their quest for perfectionism. As a result, multiple areas of their lives are affected negatively. Their love life can fall apart and they can become lethargic if they don't properly take care of themselves. On National Workaholics Day, we are reminded to make sure to take care of ourselves outside of work as well. Work ethic has changed many times over the centuries. During the 16th century, Puritans refined work as an obligation that benefited everyone in society, and the idea of good works was formed. They viewed diligent work as a sign of grace, while Catholics saw work as requirement and a manifestation of the faith they received. This tethering of faith and work would remain throughout the centuries as world evolved. Today is also commemorated as Pet Remembrance Day on July 5th every year in United Kingdom to commemorate beloved companion animals that have passed away. Dogs, which were first domesticated animals, were also the first pets. Pet Remembrance Day was created by Pets Magazine and Lars Anderson, founder of RT Lobster, a 3D printing company. On Pet Remembrance Day, pet owners gather together and share fond memories of deceased pets, their photos and beautiful moments they had when they were alive. All companion animals are celebrated on Pet Remembrance Day, including dogs, cats, horses, and ferrets. Day is also commemorated as National Bikini Day in US. It is a perfect opportunity to head to the beach as it celebrates this anniversary of the invention of two-piece bathing suit, owing it to its brisk design, the bikini was slow to be adopted, but it gradually gained the traction when film stars like Ava Gardner and Brigitte Bardot started to wear bikinis on public beaches and in their films. The garment was certainly one of the greatest inventions of all time, and due to supposed explosive effect it has created, it was named after Bikini Atoll in the South Pacific, where they conducted nuclear testing in 1946. Today is also commemorated as Guru Rinpoche Day in Bhutan. The birth anniversary of Guru Rinpoche is an public holiday observed on the 10th day of 6th lunar month, which falls on July 5th this year. The birth anniversary of Guru Rinpoche is a celebration held in the honor of Guru Rinpoche, a respected Tibetan Buddhist master who originated on the Indian subcontinent, is credited with bringing Buddhism to Bhutan and is regarded as the second Buddha in Tibetan Buddhism, also known as Guru Padmasambhava. He was instrumental in disseminating Buddhism throughout Asia, particularly in Tibet and Bhutan. Today is also commemorated as Foreign Slovaks Day in Slovakia, which is observed on July 5th every year. This day honors the memory of Slovaks who left their homeland for different reasons and at different times. This day also falls on the Romanian Catholic holiday devoted to Saint Cyril and Methodius, two Byzantine brothers who spread Christianity among the Slavic peoples as missionaries. Slovak communities around the world, people celebrate Foreign Slovaks Day as a way to stay in touch with their homeland. So wherever you are, no matter what the country you live in, you can always join the celebrations from wherever you are. Today is also commemorated as Ashura, which is a holy day for Muslims all over the world, observed on the 9th and 10th day of Muharram. According to the Islamic calendar, this year Ashura begins on July 5th. The Shia Muslims see it as a climax of the remembrance of Muharram and the martyrdom of Hussein ibn Ali, the grandson of the Prophet Muhammad, at the Battle of Karbala. For the Sunnis, Ashura is the day Moses fasted to show his gratitude for the freedom of the Israelites. Today is also a holy day for mourning, observed primarily by Shia Muslims. Other Muslims spend the day fasting and meditating. Today is also commemorated as Armenia Constitution Day in Armenia, celebrated annually on July 5th, that honors the memory of adoption of its post-Soviet constitution and marks the creation of new state structure and the beginning of a new state in the life of the country. On this day, Armenia and its citizens take a break from work, school, or university and is considered an official national holiday. Armenia Constitution Day is observed throughout the country with various ceremonies, speeches, and entertainment events. Not only Armenian citizens, but also representatives of other states and nations can join the celebration. Today is also commemorated as Algeria Independence Day in Algeria. The day marks Algeria independence from France. The War of Independence lasted 8 years and it was one of the longest and most devastating periods in Algerian history, ending in 1962. On Independence Day, there is a strong sense of unity and cultural pride throughout all the festivities. The flag, which is green and white, is flown proudly throughout the country and symbolizes Algerian freedom. Parades, cultural events, and concerts are hosted and well attended by the public. So the war for independence began in 1954 and ended in 1962. This turning point in Algerian history came about after a long period where racial tensions were brewing. The European settlers lived in poverty, which fanned the flames of their racism. Bigotry, racism, and prejudices created an us versus them divide, and the Arabo-Berber population was seen and treated as second-class citizens. It is estimated that between 350,000 and 1 million Algerians died during the war. More than 2 million Muslims were refugees or forcibly relocated into government-controlled camps, and sources estimated that at least 70,000 Muslim civilians were killed or abducted and presumed killed by a felon. Now the nation's flag is proudly flown across the country as a symbol of freedom on this day. Today is also commemorated as Work Without Your Hands Day in July in US. Fifth every year, this day is inspired by famous cartoon series SpongeBob SquarePants. In it, heroes celebrate fictional and real-life days: Annoy Squidward Day, Employee Brotherhood Day, Free Balloon Day, or Work Without Hands Day. This is a day when no one in Bikini Bottom uses their hands at work. Americans love this cartoon, so they decided to celebrate this day with SpongeBob. It's a celebration for all children and adults who love this series. So with this, we shall end today's commemorations. Thank you everyone for joining us. We request everyone to quickly fill up the feedback form before leaving the platform. So see you all tomorrow at the same time with the same joining link with different commemorations. Take care. Good night.